Good afternoon to one and all. So myself, Vijay Shankar, VC Department, Civil Engineering College. Today I am going to discuss about the third chapter, electrostatics. We already completed the transmission lines 1, the first unit, and the transmission line 2, the second unit. And two topics are remaining. The two topics are related to the graphical, so it is somewhat difficult to teach this in the online. So we will start the third unit, that is electrostatics. Okay. This is electrostatics. Electrostatic is a branch of science that involves the study of various phenomena caused by electric charges that are slow moving or even stationary. Electric charge is a fundamental property of matter, and charge exists in integral multiple of electronic charge. Electrostatics as a study of electric charges at rest. See, my dear students, once again I am saying electrostatics. Electrostatics is a branch of science that involves the study of various phenomena caused by electric charges that are slowly moving or even stationary. The electrostatics is a study of electric charges at rest. So then it is electrostatics. The two important laws of electrostatics are Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. Both these laws are used to find electric field due to the different charge configurations. First of all, you can see the Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is applicable for finding the electric field due to any charge configuration. Coulomb's law is applicable in finding electrical field due to any charge configurations. Any charge configuration. Whereas Gauss law is applicable for only for the charge distribution. The charge is distributed with a line charge, surface charge, volume charge, and the point charge. That is the Gauss law. Here the Coulomb's law is saying that it is finding the electric field due to any charge configurations. Okay. You can see the Coulomb's law states that the definition of the Coulomb's law, see here. So Coulomb's law states that the force between 2 point charges, the force between 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 is directly proportional to the product of charges, directly proportional to the product of charges. So let you take one point here in the space, let the charge is Q1. If the other point is there, let the charge is Q2. And the Coulomb's law states that the force between the two charges Q1 and Q2. Let the charge Q1 is, let us assume it's a plus, and Q2 is also plus, means the forces exerted because of the two charges are the same. The positive charges, they repel each other. The force of Q1 is towards the side and force of Q2 is towards the side. Let it be the force is F1, and The force is F2 here. Both are F2 is F1 is equal to minus F2 or F2 is equal to minus F1. If the charge Q1 is positive and the charge Q2 is a negative charge, and these two are attract to each other. Attract to each other. What it matters to us. So for this, Coulomb's law states that the force between the 2-point charges, the 2-point charges, Q1 and Q2, is directly proportional to the product of two charges. What are the two charges we assume here? The Q1 and the Q2. Directly proportional to the Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. The distance from the Q1 and Q2. The distance from the Q1 and Q2, let it be the R, is a F, nothing but the force between the 2-point charges. F is equal to, is directly proportional to the product of two charges, Q1 and Q2, whole divided by, because it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. The distance between the Q1 and Q2 is a capital R. The inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, that is R square. What it matters for? You see here the equation. A point charge is a charge that occupies in a region of space which is negligibly small compared to the distance between the 2-point charges, between the point charge and any other object. The point charge is hypothetically charged located at a single point in space. It is an idealized model of a particle having an electric charge. Mathematically, the force F is equal to, so it is a proportional to the product of two charges Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to the charge distance between the two charges and is equal to the proportionality constant. The K is here is a proportionality constant. The K is a proportionality constant. Okay, the force F is nothing but in terms of Q1 and Q2 is the charges and the distance. The distance in terms of the meters, you can take the charge is in coulombs and R is in the meters. Okay, coulomb per meter, because it is a square, coulomb per meters. Understood, madam? Then the force is in the newtons. The K is equal to the proportionality constant. K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. The K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. And where epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space. And actually it is a epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but epsilon naught and epsilon r. Epsilon naught and epsilon r. Where epsilon naught is permittivity and is a free space, relative permittivity and absolutely permittivity. The relative permittivity is always 1 in the free space, and we have only epsilon naught only. Therefore, F is equal to, finally the F is equal to see the ratio that the charges are free space. If the charges are any other dielectric medium, we will use epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r instead of where epsilon r is a relative permittivity or dielectric constant of the medium. That is, the value is always a 1. So therefore, the F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by 4 r square. Where Q1 and Q2 are the charges. The product of two charges is directly proportional, and the distance between the two charges is inversely proportional. And epsilon proportionality constant is a 1 by 4 pi epsilon. In that, epsilon permittivity, epsilon naught is absolute permittivity, and epsilon r is the relative permittivity. The relative permittivity is always a 1. Okay. Therefore, the F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. What did one is? Then, now if I am taking that, the two charges Q1 and Q2 and both are in the opposite directions. One is F12 and is F21. Due to the charge of Q1, there is a force is exerted on the Q2. And here, due to the charge of Q2, there is a force is exerted on the Q1. Both is vice versa. So you'll get the force is 1 of 2 and 2 of 1. Q2 get the force due to the Q1 because there is a both are is a positive charges. Due to the Q1, there is a force exerted on the Q2. Due to the Q2, the force exerted on the Q1. Okay. So let it take the from origin, the distance of Q1 is R1 bar and the distance of Q2 from origin is R2 bar. Why I am taking the bar is nothing but the vector. It is representing of the vector having the magnitude and also the direction. Magnitude and also the direction. As in the figure, we have the two charges and we take the distance from the origin also. To the Q1 is R1 and to the Q2 is R2. Now already there is a distance inside the capital R. That is also vector only the direction towards Q2 and direction towards the Q1. That is depends. As shown in the figure, let the position of vector, position vectors, the point charges Q1 and Q2 are given by R1 bar and R2. Let F1 bar represent the force on Q1. Force on Q1 due to the charge Q2. Represents the force on Q1. Force we get getting on the Q1 due to the Q2 because there is a mirror of the Q1, the Q2 you can bring. There is a force is exerted on the Q1. Represents the F12 bar represent the force on Q1 due to the charge Q2. If F21 bar represents the force on the Q2 due to the charge of Q1. Okay. The charges are separated by a distance R is equal to the difference between these two R1 minus R1 minus R2 or otherwise it's a magnitude R2 minus R1 is also the same. Okay. So A12 bar is R2 minus R1 bar and A21 direction is towards this direction that we can take it as a A12 bar. Means let us take this. If there is an A vector or the base vector is A 12 bar. The base vector is 12 bar. That is R2 minus R1 by R. R2 minus R1 by R. Okay. Suppose the base vector is towards this direction. That is, we can call it as a A21. A21. Got it? That is representing of A21 bar is equal to R1 minus R. You take this as R1 minus R. So the directions is different. A12 is 2 minus 1. A21 is 1 minus 2. Okay. And the force, let the force F12 bar, Q1, Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square, and it is also show that it is a vector, is a bar, have the base vector. That base vector is A12 bar, that A12 bar is R2 bar minus R1, R2 bar minus R1 by the magnitude is there, the magnitude of R, the distance is R2 minus R. Okay, so R2 minus R1, R square is already there, and this R it becomes of totally same thing. R2 minus R1 cube will give. Okay. Similarly, the force on Q1 due to the Q2, it is calculated of F21. The reverse operation represents this force. Then we can write F21 bar is equal to minus of F1 bar. F21 bar is equal to minus of F1. Got it, Marty? When we have a number of point charges to determine the force on a particular charge due to all other charges, here we have only the two charges are there. If more than the two charges, we have, from origin to the R1, R2, and so on, it is having the Q1, Q2, up to so on, the Q1 is located. And for that position vectors are R1, R2, and so on, Rn number of charges and n number of position vectors, the force F bar is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. And it is taking that is a one charge with R minus R1 by R minus R1 bar whole cube. The cube is for one R square and is another magnitude is totally you'll get the R cube. The base vector of A21 or A12. But now here I am taking that it is a n number of charges and n number of position vectors. The equation representing that Q by 4 pi epsilon naught sum of I is equal to 1 to I is equal to 1 to n. I is equal to 1 to n. It starts R I here. See the R minus R suffix I. And 1 it is R minus R1. And 2 R minus R2. And it is a 3 R minus R3 like this. Okay. So I will draw that showing charges at different charges we have from origin. One charge is here, Q1, another charge is Q2, and let it be the Q3 is also there. Q3. And from origin to Q1, origin to Q2, and origin to the Q3, let it is R1 distance, and R2 is a distance, and R3 is a distance, and towards there is a change of I value 1, 2, 3, and so on up to so on. If suppose the Q4 is also there, from origin to the Q4 is R4. Okay, subtract all the functions from the R, that is R minus R1 bar and R minus R2 bar and so on. The sum of the functions, sum of all the functions, you get a sum of I is equal to 1 to n. Qi is also Qi by Qi. The Qi is depends upon the charges. That is the charge Q1 is from the R minus R. The charge Q2 is R minus R. The charge 3 R minus R3 and charge 4 R minus R. So change of these values is Q1 with R minus R1 bar whole divided by R minus R1 bar whole cube plus again you can take this Q2 R minus R2 by R minus R2 whole cube and so on. Got it, madam? Is when we have n number of charges in space, the force is F bar is equal to F bar is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught sum of I is equal to 1 to n Qi into R minus Ri whole divided by R minus Ri. It's a suffix, there is I is there. Is I. Got it? Next step. Next topic is electric field. You know the electric field, the force per charge or force on the charge, force per unit charge we can say, is nothing but the electric field. E bar is equal to. You see there, the electric field due to the charge, the electric field. Electric field due to the charge is the space around the unit charge in which the experiences a force. The electric field intensity or electric field strength. Electric field intensity or electric field strength representing the P bar is equal. At a point is defined as force per unit charge. Force per unit charge. That is the definition. E bar is equal to F bar by Q. Or mathematically E is equal to F by Q, or F is equal to E into Q. But if I am taking the vector, E bar is equal to F bar by Q. Already we know the F bar is equal to. What is the F bar? The proportionality constant is a 4 pi epsilon naught. 4 pi epsilon naught, and is directly proportional to the two charges Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2 whole divided by the distance between of the two vectors. The square of the distance between the two vectors. When I am showing it is a vector here, F bar means A12 bar. A12 bar or A bar. The distance is from 1 to. If the distance is from 2, 1, it is becomes of the base vector is at 2, 1. In this force, if I am taking one charge, force per unit charge, it becomes of the electric field. Okay, so the electric field E bar is equal. Electric field E bar is equal to the same formula I get F by Q. Nothing but is F bar by Q bar, or the Q bar F by Q. Any one of the charge. Force per the charge. Now it becomes of Q by, or I take the Q1 here. Here it is a Q2. Let us 4 pi epsilon naught R square into A bar. It's a base vector. Always there is a base vector is A12 bar. So let us the distance is also from 1 to. The force per unit charge, whatever the force we already discussed there, and the Coulomb's law, directly proportional to the two product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And proportionality constant is 4 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is a absolute permittivity in a free space, and relative permittivity is equal to 1. Okay. Now you can see the force on a charge is the product of charge, is a scalar, and the value of electric field, which is a vector, at the point where the charge is located, that is E bar is equal to limit E bar is equal to limit Q tends to 0, F bar by Q, or E bar is equal to F bar by Q. E bar is equal to F bar by Q. And force is a vector, the electric field intensity is also the vector. Got it? Next, the same thing, the previously what we did in the Coulomb's law. Now the E bar, the more number of charges is there, and the distance is taken from the R to R1, R2, and R4, and R2, so on the values. You can represent the E bar is equal to electric field intensity E at a point R due to the point charges Q located at the R bar. Nothing but the source point is given Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R minus R bar by R minus R bar whole cube. See the R dash is there. R dash. At R dash we can consider as here the sum of we can take I is equal to 1 to n y R minus Ri by R minus Ri. The same thing previously. Here the force is there. Force per unit charge, whatever the formula we got here, that force per unit charge, the remaining the formula is for the electric field intensity only. The electric field intensity. You see that is the same thing. The electric field intensity E bar is equal to force per unit charge 1 by 4 pi naught, sum of I is equal to 1 to n to I into R minus Ri bar and R magnitude of R minus Ri bar whole cube. Okay, the electric field intensity, if they add from the Coulomb's law, the electric field intensity E bar is equal. It is also electric field intensity. They call it as electric field strength. Simply say electric field strength. And so 421. Be careful when the class is going on. Don't annoy anything. Got it, my friends? Please listen carefully. For a limited charge, dq is equal. dq is there. When that dq means the rate of change of charge with respect to the volume, rate of change of the rate of change of charge with respect to the surface, and the rate of change of the charge with respect to the line, and different distribution of charges are there. In that, here they are representing that differential electric field intensity. Differential electric field intensity d bar is equal to, there is a change in the charge also, dq. That dq is equal to rho s into ds, where it is a surface charge. dq is equal to rho v into dv, and the dq is equal to, for line charge, rho l into dl. Rho l into dl. Okay. So these are line charge. This is for volume charge. It's a line charge. The volume charge. And this is for surface. The formula is for the dq. So when I am taking this d bar, I am changing this d bar, and there is a change in the charge also. The charge, if I am representing in terms of the volume, see here the volume is rho v into dv. Rho v into dv. The rho v is a charge density, volume charge density. What it matters? Volume charge density. Rho s is it is also charge density, but surface charge density. And rho l is also charge density, that is a line charge density. What it matters? The d bar is equal to dq. Replace the dq with one of the distribution charge. That distribution charge is a volume. That is rho v into dv, and r minus r bar by 4 pi epsilon naught, r bar minus r dash, nothing but it is r I actually full. Got it? So see here, there is a continuous volume charge, volume distribution charge. In that volume distribution charge, you can take here the integral of, why I am taking the integral of means, the formula saying, here the formula saying that it's a d bar is equal to dq into dq by 4 pi epsilon naught, 4 pi epsilon naught r square into r. Okay, a r bar. This is the formula for the differential electric field intensity. Differential electric field intensity. In that, I substitute the dq is equal to, that dq is equal to rho v into dv as a volume charge. Rho v into dv, where rho v is a charge density, the volume charge density. Okay, representing that as dq is rho v into dv, the rho v into dv by 4 pi epsilon naught, 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar. That is ar bar is a base vector. We already learned in the coordinate system. That base vector is the vector difference by the magnitude. AR bar is equal to, if I am taking the AR bar is equal to, for A12 bar means AB bar by is a vector of AB and the magnitude of AB. The ratio between, okay, the ratio between of the point A to the point B is a base vector. Got it, my dear? So for this, if I am taking the integral of both sides, integral of derivative becomes of the constant. Integral of both sides, integral of the derivative here, integral of this function, integral of derivative becomes of E. E is equal to, and here also the integral is there. That E, if I am substituting the rho of R bar, it is nothing but rho V, the volume charge density, into dV is there, here the dV, and a whole divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R bar minus R bar whole cube. The whole cube, one term will get in the AR bar. One term will get in the AR bar. AR bar is equal to R minus Ri whole divided by R minus Ri. Okay. This the magnitude is single magnitude. In the square, there is another one is there, R minus Ri. It is a square. 2 plus 1 will get the cube. So R minus Ri by R minus Ri whole cube into D. This total function is from the base vector we get. Okay. E bar is equal to electric field intensity. E bar is equal to electric field intensity. E bar is equal to rho V into dV by 4 pi epsilon naught. AR bar into R square. AR bar into R square is the function is R minus R bar by R minus R bar whole cube. Got it, madam? The similar way, instead of volume charge, if it is a line charge means change of only the charge density. dq is equal to, again dq is equal to rho L into dl. Is a rho L and is a dl. The remaining is the same for all things. R minus R bar and R minus R bar whole cube is there. Only the change for the line charge is rho L into dl. The dq replaced with rho L into dl. And for the surface also, you see everything is the same. 4 pi epsilon naught R minus R bar whole cube and R minus R. And only change is there in the surface charge density and differentiation. The dq is equal to rho s into ds. Rho s into ds. This is a formula for the electric field intensity in various distribution of charges. The distribution of charges is the point charge equation. See, once again, I will write this for the point charge equation. For the point charge, simply the E bar is equal to the point charge, the E bar is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, 4 pi epsilon naught R square into R square into AR. Is the formula for the electric field intensity for point charge. You can take this as a point charge. Okay. See, if it is a line charge, means joining of 2 points is nothing but the line charge. Line. It is a line charge. The charges is distributed uniformly like this. Okay, the point charge is 2 points on it. A point charge, it is a 2 points. Q1 and the Q2. Charges is from the Q1 and Q2. And now join these 2 points, you'll get the line. And in this also, the charge is distributed uniformly. charge is distributed like this uniformly and throughout the line, either it is a positive charge or it is a negative charge. Okay, that is a line charge. So the line charge E bar is equal to rho L into dV. Rho L is not the dV, rho L is dm. That is the dq is equal to the differential line, or it is a differential electric field intensity. Nothing but dE bar is equal to d. Now this also dE bar is equal to rho L into dl by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into AR. Okay, into AR. We can take it is an integral. D bar is equal to integral of. Similarly, for the surface charge. For the surface charge, D bar is equal to the change of dq. Change of dq is rho s into ds. Surface charge is rho s into ds. The remaining term, same, 4 pi epsilon naught r square into r. Okay. If you take the integral, E bar is equal to integral of rho s. Here what they wrote is the same. The integral of rho v into dv is there, and this function is r minus r bar by r minus r bar. Whole cube is for r bar and distance r square. And the last is for the surface charge. Not surface, volume charge. Volume charge, the formula for the volume charge. The volume charge is dE bar is equal to same thing. dE bar is equal to dq. dq is nothing but the rho v into d. Rho v into dv. Here the dq, replacing the dq as rho L into dl is the line charge. Replace the dq is by rho s into ds becomes surface charge.